quick trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about things like blood, medical procedures, and reproductive organs. So if those sort of topics make you feel uncomfortable, feel free to keep scrolling. My name is Jessica, and I'm currently going through endometrial cancer, and I wanted to share a bit of my story. So my husband and I, we've been trying to conceive for at the time when we found out about my cancer, it had been about 5.5 years of trying. So we went to a new OB, and I had told her I was having really bad periods for the last couple of years. Having PCOS, my periods were like maybe 4, 5, 6 months in between. And I told her, even if we don't get pregnant, I kind of want to like take care of like the period problem. It was becoming a big issue, and I was getting really sick from it. So we ended up deciding to do a procedure called a DNC, where they basically open up the cervix and then they go in with a scope and they kind of look and see what's happening. And they also will use a tool to scrape out the uterine lining, which is the part of the of our body that we shed every month as women. So we did that, and she went in and she told us, it was funny. She said, if we find polyps, then I'll remove them. Well, she went in and I was filled to the brim with polyps. There were so many polyps, they were actually blocking my fallopian tubes. And she had even said after the surgery, she said, no wonder you couldn't get pregnant. Your fallopian tubes were blocked. But she said she didn't see any signs of calcification, so she wasn't really concerned about infection or cancer, but she was going to go ahead and send the polyps to a lab for analysis just to be safe. So we were really excited because we were assured that like our chances of getting pregnant were good now, and that's what we had been trying for so long. So we were really hopeful and we were really excited. And then on May 2nd, so it was like a couple weeks after my procedure, I got a phone call. It just, like, on the caller ID, it said wireless caller. And I ignored it. If I don't recognize the number, I don't answer. The caller left a voicemail, and it was my OB calling on her personal cell phone on a Friday evening. And I kind of like, my heart dropped in my stomach, and I just kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? My husband was going out the door to go to work, and I was going out the door to go to the grocery store. And yeah, so I told him I would call the doctor and then call him back and let him know what she said. So I got in the car and I called her, and she told me that I have endometrial cancer. I didn't totally understand what that was, but I hear the word cancer and I think to my mom and my aunt, my grandma, all on my mom's side, who all went through breast cancer, and just like cancer is like a dirty word in our home. So I hear that word and I'm just in a panic. But yeah, she told me that I had cancer, and she assured me, out of all the cancers that I have, this is the most treatable one. She told me that essentially they would probably just give me like a pill to take, and then to treat the cancer, we would have a baby, or like we would try to have one as quickly as possible. And then the ultimate treatment for endometrial cancer is a hysterectomy, so removal of the uterus. So that was pretty devastating. So we've been dealing with that since May. There's a lot more to my story. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but feel free to check out my blog that I started. It's called thepeachribbonclub.com, where you can read more detail about my story and kind of what we've gone through. My sister-in-law also created a GoFundMe for us, as we've gone through. I've had 3 surgeries in the past year, and all the MRIs and CT scans, and none of this is cheap, and insurance isn't cheap. So feel free to take a look at our GoFundMe and take a look at my blog if you're willing to donate. All donations are appreciated. The donations we've received already have definitely been such a blessing. Feel free to share this video so that way we can raise awareness and kind of spread the word. I hope you have a wonderful new year. Thank you.